Hello and welcome to NerdVsWorld episode 12, The Nerdy Dozen. I'm Brendan.
I'm Spindles.
And I'm Ady.
And welcome to the show.
Hello. How are we all?
Exhausted.
Exhausted indeed. It's some deja vu.
Yeah.
God.
I feel like we've been here before.
No, we're all still recovering from a bit of a long weekend. So,
Well, Brendan and Simon are.
well, you were
Then
around.
again, I did have a
You
long
came round to
weekend.
mine and we had a longer
Yes.
weekend afterwards.
Yeah, so I'm glad to-
Yeah, I hear you started watching Arrow.
I've been watching it before. I've been watching it way before, but I got behind because I couldn't get somewhere that played it for me.
See, I just started getting into that. I think in the space of 4 days, I've watched 17 episodes.
Okay.
So
Well, on par then with me now.
haven't quite finished it yet.
It does rock. The end of the series gets really good.
So
Have you seen how good John Barrowman is in it
Yeah.
now?
yeah, he's fantastic.
He has
And
some awesome fight scenes.
I think that's where I've finally came across something that I would actually like to cosplay, and that is Deathstroke.
Ah, yes,
I'd like to do-
that's the guy whose name we couldn't
Yes.
remember.
Yeah.
Deathstroke, yeah.
Yeah, but he got stabbed in the eye, so he's dead.
Yeah,
Oh, I think he might. He gets killed by
His-
Slade Wilson, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed in the eye.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually dead though.
Oh, he still gets fucking stabbed in the eye. He looks pretty dead.
I think he'll come back
yeah,
because he is Deathstroke.
we were having
Yes.
costume ideas at the weekend as well. We were sorting out what we're doing for
Sci-Fi Weekender.
because our contingent has gotten bigger again. So there's like,
Who else is coming? Now?
there's my neighbours are coming now as well. So
That sounds really bad.
it does, yeah.
Did you not stop window twitching?
Absolutely. Do you like sci-fi? Come with us.
When you hear this back in the edit, you'll get the joke that Eddie just made.
Indeed.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't hear he said.
It's okay. We'll
It's all right.
continue.
Okay.
But it's exactly the level of crude you'd expect from Eddie.
Fair
So
enough.
just listen for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we came up with a kind of en masse idea. Well, originally we were thinking about possibly doing Bab 5, but it was just too difficult to try and get all the costumes together for that. So we've come up with an alternate idea of doing the Justice League of Queen and Country. So steampunk superheroes
Oh, sweet.
from DC.
Yes.
That'd be pretty cool.
So I think that's what we're going to do en masse.
Steampunk superheroes.
Yeah. Steampunk Justice League.
That'd be cool.
So yeah,
So
trying
you
to
could always do your
reimagine them all.
Deathstroke with a top hat.
But he's a villain.
So doesn't matter.
Might need villains as well.
That's
We
true.
could have somebody to beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it could be easily adapted to
Easily.
sort of steampunk.
Three-piece pinstripe suit and a fucking tall hat with some.
Because we're all
goggles
in
on
the kind of planning stages at the moment, because I've had some interesting ideas for Superman involving jetpacks and gas guns and things instead of... So making him just like a normal person but with gadgetry
Right.
instead
So
of...
making him Batman.
it. Yeah.
Well, kind of, but
Sounds like it.
but with Superman's powers, only his powers are done through gadgets.
Okay.
So...
Like Batman.
Well, no!
Yes.
No, Batman has gadgets.
Yes.
I'm putting Superman's powers as gadgets.
Okay.
Yes. Batman.
Right.
Flight as a jetpack.
Yeah. Batman.
Batman.
Batman doesn't fly.
He does.
No, he doesn't. He flies
he-
in a
He's
machine.
got the Batwing.
Yeah, that's
Which is a gadget.
plane.
It's a gadget.
Gadget.
It's a big fuck off gadget.
I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. But
Which
we-
has been
Pedants, both of you.
yeah. Absolutely.
fucking right.
Yeah, so that'd be cool. So who would you have? So who's got what characters?
Well, we haven't got all of them assigned yet. You were thinking of doing
Arrow.
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And Faye's Black Canary.
Black
Black
Canary.
Canary, yeah. Which I love that about the Arrow TV show. I love that Laurel Lance works for CNRI. And that they've already mentioned that her sister was bought a canary by
Yes.
her father. So that's pretty rad. There's some really nice touches in there.
Yeah, it is tidied quite nicely.
To be honest, I had no idea that they did the whole flashback thing to the island, or that was such a big deal. But that kind of makes the show for me.
Yeah,
It does.
It's
It keeps
still
it
going
fresh.
on right till the very end
Yeah.
of it. So, yeah,
I
it's
do like that.
very
It
interesting.
makes it flow well.
Even by the end of season 1, I don't think they're done. I think there will still be more flashbacks next season because
Yes.
there's still a load more unanswered questions.
Yeah, like from the flashbacks in season 1. How the fuck did he end up with really long hair and a beard?
Well,
Fine, yeah.
and on his own.
Yes,
Fine,
exactly. In his green hood.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, we know where he got the green hood.
Yes, we know, but how did that come to
Yeah,
pass?
Yeah. No, so it'd be cool to find that out.
Have a green hood
More than likely.
and my shiny bow. Pluck my string.
Yeah, so who else is doing what? Emma's possibly thinking of doing Zatanna.
Cool.
We've got the Sprostons, I think, might be doing Batman, Catwoman, and Batgirl as a family.
What's Meg gonna do?
Meg wants to do Supergirl,
Okay.
and then
Joe
we've
and
got
Roach.
Joe and Roach. But yeah, I think Roach was talking about doing Batman as well.
Yeah,
so
he wanted to do a kind of Batman, but Joe was saying that, or Roach put up that Joe's thought of Hawkgirl,
Yes, Hawkgirl,
which I think would be really quite awesome.
Yeah.
It would work actually.
Hawkgirl would be cool. Green Lantern. Steampunk Green Lantern would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
With an
It
actual
would.
lantern.
with an actual
Yes,
lantern, yeah.
yes, it would.
That'd be,
Lamp, yeah.
that'd be
Yes.
sweet. I'd be tempted to do that myself, actually.
That'd be quite cool. That's a really good idea.
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
the Flash. as well.
Flash, yeah. Well, Flash you could do, but it'd be trickier.
Yeah, indeed.
No,
That's
it
why
wouldn't be that tricky. I don't think it'd be that tricky.
I think
to do
it's
Flash.
the thing with sort of like doing these sort of costume adaptations is that you have to be faithful to sort of like the colour of the original
Yeah.
costume.
Yes. Yeah.
So with the entire red of Flash, I think that would be...
But you can
No,
do it
you can't.
as a
You
for
get a
Victoria.
dark-
You do a dark burgundy
Yes.
red
Of course.
Yes, exactly.
rather
in
than
a suit.
a bright
With a
red.
suit.
Yeah, like, but not a sort of frock coat. You could do it waistcoat.
You know,
and
kind of
have-
like the dark burgundy
and
red
have,
that Ben
black-
Browder's coat in Farscape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting, for sure.
So yeah, we're planning at the moment. I just sorted my garage out and I bought a workbench at the weekend, so I've now got area to make stuff.
I'm guessing no one wants to be Aquaman, right?
Who wants to be Aquaman?
Yeah, no one wants to be Aquaman.
I did
Dude,
try and
Aquaman sucks.
Nobody wants to be Aquaman. We haven't got a Wonder Woman.
There isn't a Wonder
I'm
Woman.
not doing... I'm not going as Wonder Woman.
Really?
It's either that or Aquaman.
You got the thighs for it.
Oh, you. No. If I was going to do it, I would go as
I want to take
Green
a ride on
Lantern.
Green
my
Lantern.
invisible plane.
Green Lantern would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would.
So yes. Well, if you want to do it, so we're just in the planning stages.
Yeah.
Although, however, I would actually say that kind of era with it just reminds me of like a giant leprechaun. Because we think about the Green Lantern and being green and the clothing that you'd have to wear.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's a 6 foot fucking leprechaun.
Still-
No, I'm the Green Lantern.
Where's
You're
me
not.
Lucky Charms?
Woo!
You kidder.
But yeah, so anybody out there who's happily donate materials.
Yeah,
we'd
we're
be-
after steampunk bits.
Bits,
so, yeah,
pieces,
anyone wants to
bits of
donate stuff, that'd be
brass,
great.
copper, and lots of leather.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I think
especially
my
green
original
leather.
idea was to do Constantine, but then thinking about it was just too easy.
Yeah. Big fucking coat.
Yeah,
I'm Constantine.
exactly. It's like, yeah, all right, that's done then.
Wonder how many crows we'll see next year.
Are you assuming that if the new film has been made by then?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I saw a crow wandering around in Sainsbury's in Didcot the other day. No idea why.
Maybe it got in through the door.
Everywhere.
Hanging
Everyone's got
around
to
on
eat,
the
you know.
sea dial. So, anyways, yes, that was our idea for cosplay. So, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see how that goes.
That'd be cool. I think we're going to do Discworld again.
Cool.
I think on the Friday, or maybe on the Friday night, we'll revisit last year's group costume.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're doing for the Saturday this time around.
Yeah.
And that was the Discord, was it? The Friday
We did
night?
the Discworld cosplay for the Saturday night
Yes.
this year, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do that again on the Friday
Friday.
night next time, and then we'll have a new costume for the
For the
Saturday.
Saturday.
Oddly
Okay.
enough, I found some pictures and all that of some other people who'd done a kind of steampunk Justice League, and then in the background of some of their pictures, there was some Discworld people.
Awesome.
There was a Rincewind and a Two Flower kicking around in the
Ah,
background of the shots.
Marcus's two flowers was just absolutely
Yeah,
fantastic.
that was
He had
genius.
a little chest. He actually had the luggage as well, and it was
Awesome.
full of chocolate coins.
Yeah.
And like, he was just giving coins away for absolutely anything. Just like the tourist was like over tipping.
Yeah.
Like, when we were switching papers with the teams that we were next to on the quiz, because I was on Saturday night as well. And when they were marking our when they marked our papers and then gave it back to us, he gave them chocolate coins for marking the papers and everything. And Sue was the Death of Rats. The Death of Rats was brilliant.
It was amazing.
Awesome.
I'm going to put pictures of those up, I think, in the show notes, because the Death of Rats was fantastic.
Yeah, there's a load of them, because I've got a gallery up on the WonkyCasts page that's got pictures of everyone on it.
Yeah, and of course, we had those discussions at the Geek Meet.
Yes, indeed, the weekend, yes. Up in Birmingham.
So, Birmingham, I forgot how much of a bitch it was to drive around.
Yeah, you were just unlucky, sir.
I think I was. I think we spoke about this on the day, because you couldn't understand why it taken me so long to get there.
No, well, that was it, because you said you were on your way at like 11, and it was like 1:30. I was like, it's Brendan. Everybody else was going, where is he?
It's like, God, I was just stuck in so much traffic. It was terrible.
Yeah, well,
it was worth it,
a huge amount, because it was we were just all playing games and doing more of what we were doing for the rest of the day. It was just a lot of nerdy chat, playing of various versions of Flux, Pirate Flux and Space Flux, I think it was.
Pirate Flux was pretty sweet.
Pirate Flux, I like that idea.
I'd have enjoyed it a lot more if I wasn't getting my ass handed to me
by a 9-year-old.
She was just too good, and she kept stealing my gold doubloons.
She did as well, yeah.
It sucked. Man.
Stash them better.
I drove all that way
to get your ass handed to you by a 9-year-old.
But yeah, she was pretty good.
Yeah, she enjoyed that. She really did. It was lovely to see everyone and hear what they've got coming up and everything with the Rule32 Cafe.
It's massively exciting.
It is, yeah. I mean, I'm really happy that they found somewhere that they're interested in as a venue and that is interested in having them there as well.
Yeah. Just see what agreement they can come to.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be up, I think, next week in Oxford with me at SAE, and we're going to be shooting a couple more interview pieces for the Indiegogo campaign. But the actual main video itself is ready to go now. So it's just as soon as they say, let's go, let's roll it out. But it'll be cool, and hopefully we'll get an interview for the show as well, so they can just give a bit more detail to everybody.
Yeah.
But the gist of it, essentially, is it's like the Hard Rock Cafe, but for geeks. So...
yeah, one-stop nerdy shop.
Yeah.
One-stop nerd shop.
I love the fact that they want to, on a Saturday morning, they want to have the old sort of breakfast club sort of thing, where you can show the old school cartoon and have cereal and toast, which I would drive back to Worcester every weekend just for that.
They set it out with some old like school furniture that you sit in to watch it and have your breakfast on breakfast. You can watch like Breakfast Club or watch something on the screen like cartoons and shit while you're sat in these school chairs eating your breakfast cereal.
Well, I think the furniture they want to go for mostly is sort of like stuff that can be converted then quickly into gaming tables.
Yeah.
So they want to be able to play Magic there and do card games there.
Yeah.
And run RPG sessions there as well.
Yeah.
Which is it's all doable. It's all really cool. It just needs the funding. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, good luck to them. I mean, I said they had a good turnout for an event in Birmingham.
Yeah.
People came from
people were flying down from Dumfries.
Yeah, Dumfries and all sorts of places.
And a lot of those people,
crazy shit.
A lot of those guys were from the SFX Weekender as well. So it was awesome to see old friends again.
Great to see everyone again.
And actually get a chance to talk.
Yes.
Without me being absolutely blotto.
Yeah, you had to drive, so you
I had to drive, so I wasn't drinking at all.
Yeah. And then, of course, we made the heinous error of going in the comic shop.
Oh, God.
You made an anus error.
Heinous.
Heinous, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually...
The anus errors came later on after eating curry.
Oh, dear.
I wouldn't mind just like giving a quick shout out to Nostalgia and Comics, because
Absolutely.
That shop was awesome.
Nostalgia Comics in Birmingham, that was an excellent shop.
Yeah, and the customer service was fantastic. I was looking for one particular set of books. I was looking for Quiver, the Kevin Smith series for Green Arrow, and they weren't looking for it for me, but they just didn't have it. But they weren't looking. They were happy to look for me. Yeah. But yeah, I ended up buying a load of stuff that I already own digitally on Comixology, but I just wanted to have the hard copies of it. So I have the Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Strikes Again, and Nightfall Volume 1, because I couldn't spend any more. I would have bought the other two volumes in Nightfall as well, but Just far too expensive at that point.
Yeah, because I was back issue hunting because I've started getting Suicide Squad now on my subscription because all the rest of my comics that I've been reading, apart from Justice League, have now been cancelled. So DC Universe has gone. Dial H is now finishing. So yeah, I've swapped onto Suicide Squad, but that means I've got 19 back issues that I need to get hold of. So yeah, I went into there, looked through the box and came out with a lot of comics, and then made the mistake of walking down the Doctor Who toy aisle and found a new sonic screwdriver and a new 50th anniversary wallet. Yeah. My bank balance wasn't happy with me.
Well, I'd kind of put some money aside. I kind of knew there was a comic shop and I was going to go and visit it. That's one of the first things we did when we get there, wasn't it? Cup of tea, play some cards, comic shop.
Oh, there's a comic shop, awesome. You say. 2 minutes walk to lead the way.
We had a local there just to sort of guide us to the comic shop.
Here's my card, just take it.
Buy me stuff.
So yeah, but it was good to speak to people, and it was good to see that this Rule 32 project is going somewhere. Yeah. It's got some legs. It's definitely moving.
It looks like they had a great evening as well. It's unfortunate we couldn't stick around.
Yeah.
So to get Megan home and everything, and you had to drive back as well, so we kind of missed the nighttime shenanigans.
Yeah, but there'll be another one. When there's another one, I will definitely be getting a hotel and stopping over.
But there was enough nighttime shenanigans that night anyway, because that was the night of the announcement.
Oh yeah,
it was.
It was.
And lots of Facebook and Twitter screaming.
And low did the internet cry.
Yeah, indeed it did.
For the first time this week, because there was another incident of that yesterday. Yeah. We'll get more into both of them later on.
But yeah, that horrible piece of news. Oh well. Well, let's talk about one of those things now then. Game of Thrones.
Okay, Game of Thrones. Well, you haven't seen it yet, and just because it's a fresh episode, we won't give away any spoilers.
No spoilers.
Despite the fact that the book came out 13 years ago.
Yeah. If you've read the book, you've been expecting this.
Yes.
And I haven't read the book, but I had been told about this some time ago, so I knew it was coming.
I knew there was something harsh. Emma had said there was a real harsh incident that happened in book 3, and she's been waiting for this all season.
I wasn't prepared for quite how brutal it was, though. Yeah. It was... Even knowing that it was going to happen, I wasn't braced for quite the level of shock and gore and brutality.
It was brutal,
yeah.
But there's just been a massive outcry on the internet, and I just don't get this at all. I don't understand why people are rage quitting the show over this.
Neither do I.
Hundreds and hundreds of people are just going, that's it, I'm not fucking watching this show anymore, it's too harsh and rah rah rah.
Compared to the books, it's quite soft, to be fair.
Yeah, well, there's something in this scene which isn't in the books, because there's a character that isn't in the books which is in this scene. And they get the worst of it.
They had to get rid of him somehow, eh?
Yeah.
I don't get the whole rage quit mentality, though. Not for this.
Not for this, no, because, I mean, it's the show... It's made its name in being brutal and in doing things and being uncompromising.
At the very beginning of it, it was like, Robb Stark dying. Why not there?
Ned Stark.
Sorry, yes.
Ned Stark. Okay. Cutting that because...
Sorry.
Because that's the spoiler.
Yeah, sorry. It's because I was trying not to say the spoiler.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
But yeah, Ned Stark dying at the end of season 1 was... to be expected. He was Sean Bean. He had to die eventually.
It's true, but in context, just think about it. That's how the show is. That's how it was written. That's what the book was like. Just.
I mean, I think from its first episode, any show that's going to end its first episode pushing a 10-year-old boy out of a window, it's not going to be puppies and kittens for the next couple of seasons, is it?
No, but just quitting the show because of that just makes no sense.
It's just like there's uprising on the internet going, George R.R. Martin, you're a bastard, and people are like blaming the show producers and things. How could you come up with such a horrible thing to do?
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh well.
Fine.
The internet's full of idiots.
It's the internet after all. Yeah.
It is the internet. I mean, but the thing was, this got spoilt a lot more than anything else I've seen in recent history.
I think it was just because of the pure shock of it.
Yeah, but I think also as well there was a T-shirt released through a very reputable geek company. I'm going to use that. You can't see the quotation marks that I'm doing ear bunny rabbit ears. But they released a T-shirt with the spoiler on the T-shirt, like the day after the episode in the States. So UK people going to the shop saw the T-shirt and was like, "What the fuck?"
Right, I hadn't seen that.
Which was pretty slack.
Because you were saying as well that
Geek
a lot
Tyrant
of news sites are really badly spoiling stuff as well.
Geek Tyrant was going, "Post your spoilers here," and it's like, really? Because I put up a status just saying, if you have a Geek Tyrant in your newsfeed, you might want to avoid them for the next day or so, or at least until you've watched Game of Thrones, because they're openly posting spoilers and encouraging it. And I thought that was just bad form. But I think it's just, there's such a rush now with all these sites, like Geek Tyrant and Nerd Bastards and all of them, that they're more concerned with breaking the news first, or getting something out there quickly and being first to the story, that they're not so concerned about actually having something substantive.
Yeah, having a considered opinion on it.
Because Geek Tyrant are terrible for it. Geek Tyrant will just they'll mostly go to YO9 and copy and paste in articles, and just like the bulk of their page will be quotes, direct quotes, with the occasional line with an individual bit of thought. They don't really dissect any of the issues, they just repeat what's been said somewhere else. So which is why I don't follow Geek Tyrant anymore, because I follow YO9 and I'm not seeing anything new from this site. Right, I get most of my stuff from Deadline, I just go straight to the source.
What would you consider as a good length of time for it not to be considered a spoiler anymore?
I think... Well, that's a tricky one.
24, 48 hours after.
I think it's got to have at least shown.
It's got to have aired in both America and the UK.
Yeah.
The same with films, I think.
Yeah.
Not just TV shows, I think films as well.
Because films as well. I mean, I'd give films a couple of weeks before talking any spoilers, because people aren't going to necessarily rush out and see it on opening night.
Yeah,
that's true.
Or if you're going to post spoilers, because I've done 2 reviews for NerdVsWorld, and both of them have been spoiler-free.
Yes.
And I'm quite proud of that. It's good to keep them spoiler-free, but sometimes it's really, especially with Star Trek, it was hard to review Star Trek and keep it spoiler-free.
Yeah.
Especially with what irked me about Star Trek, because I would like to have just said, this is why it pissed me off, but it would have been a massive spoiler. I think the only time it's ever acceptable to put a spoiler in something is if you have, in big, bold letters, spoiler warning.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't want to be spoilt, do not watch this.
I guess that's why we kind of try and keep as many spoilers out of this show as we can, because I don't really want people to go, I can't listen to that if I haven't seen X show this week.
I think Steve Ellis, who blogs for SFX magazine, at Zombie Kudos online on Twitter, he was at the Geek Meet.
Yeah, I was chatting to him.
He wrote a blog about spoilers, because he had season 8 of Supernatural spoilt for him by one of the cast members that he follows on Twitter, because it hasn't actually aired over here yet in the UK.
The end of season 8 hasn't yet, no.
So I think he'd seen a tweet by someone who tweeted like 6 months after filming a particular piece, and it kind of spoilt it for him because it hadn't actually aired. And I think there's probably a need for the length of time between a US release and a UK release to start coming down a bit. Because some shows we get straight away. I mean,
Game of Thrones you get the night after it's on in America.
Walking Dead's like a week.
Yeah.
But some shows, I don't think the new series of Big Bang Theory has aired on
I don't know.
E4 yet.
We've been getting some shows almost 3 months later.
Well, yeah, I think Continuum's just about to start airing in the UK season 2, and I think we're up to like episode 6 or 7 now.
Yeah, 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
And actually, is Arrow on E4 yet? Because if it's going to be anywhere, that's where it'll be, because they have links with CW.
I actually saw an advert for it on something. I can't remember what channel it was, chap.
Because I thought it would have ended up on Fox or something.
It was on Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi?
Yeah, Sci-Fi had it, during the daytime, I think it was. Don't absolutely quote me on that. Another one I'll have to look back into and check up on. but I've definitely seen it on a UK TV show.
But I just think that if they're so concerned, the TV networks are so concerned about losing revenue to people streaming and downloading illegally,
They should
just make it available.
Date.
Yeah. Well, they should lift the IP restrictions on outside of US.
Well, the IP restrictions are rubbish anyway.
Yeah, because you can always, you can bypass them with media hint, and there's other ways of blocking them. But they should just get rid of it. They should just make it a subscription service, direct to customer. Just say, if you really want to watch this show, the day it's released. But
unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's like everything else. It comes down to money.
Yeah.
If they had streaming access to stuff online as soon as it came out, great, I'd watch it.
I'd pay for it.
Yeah, indeed.
I think the Steam model, Valve showed with the Steam model that people are prepared to pay for it if they can have it when they want it. It's access which is the issue, not necessarily the price.
Yeah.
But I would, because I'd much prefer to be paying for a reliable, good quality stream than having to just go and find a stream. Because they're streaming in HD.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they might as well stop that issue by being the distributor themselves than allow people to stream it separately.
Yeah.
But, I think along with the music industry, they're not grabbing the opportunities of digital distribution quite as firmly as they should be.
They never have done. It's weird that the content providers are so slow on the uptake on the distribution platforms. Weird.
It seems illogical to not do it. It just seems really, really silly to have that there available and have it as a source of income rather than a source of loss.
Yeah.
Then again, we are this generation, we are the nerds, and they've got older generations with lots of money who go,
Yeah, I guess it's not.
If I can't physically have it and hand it to you for cash.
I suppose there's not many people breaking paradigms at the moment, is there?
No.
In the upper echelons of these companies, because they're dyed in the wool. They're company men for 20 years or so. But, something has to change eventually, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because it just seems to make sense.
Digital pokey stick.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Just to
it does.
Let people pay for it. They could even do it if they wanted to. They could even do it as a deposit against a Blu-ray or a DVD. You say if you buy a show subscription, so you pay $12, you get to watch 12 episodes of the show online for the course of the series, and then you get half off the box set when it comes out.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Take heed, networks. Listen, sort it the hell out.
That's the way to do it, because they're at least guaranteeing income and they're guaranteeing sales then of the box sales. Yeah.
Same with music. It just seems. It's too. Just do it.
Well, music. I think music is slowly coming around.
Yeah, there's better and better online distribution services for music. I mean, Google have just released their version of Spotify now.
Google Play,
which is monthly subscription access to all the music. Because previously the Google Play, which I've been using for years now, has been you upload your music, and then you listen to it wherever, or you can buy albums from the Google Play store. Whereas now they've got a subscription model that you pay a flat fee, which I think is like $9.99 a month, same as Spotify.
Yeah.
And you have access to all the music that's on there to play.
I know Google had issues a couple of years back with licensing.
Yeah.
Because they thought they were too big to be brought to the table, and then they found out they weren't.
Got their asses slapped.
They did get a bit of a slap down, but it made them negotiate. And if they're playing ball now, that's fine. And Amazon as well.
Yeah.
They were forced to play ball because they were selling albums ridiculously undercut. So I think they sold Lady Gaga's album for was it $1?
Something like that.
Just to shift sales. Because it drove sales then towards the Amazon player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon have done another one, which is the Amazon Premium service. Have you seen that?
Was it Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime, yeah. That has a library checkout function with it, so you can check out an ebook, like one ebook at a time, and read it, and then check it back in again and check out another one without having to actually buy the ebook.
That's kind of cool.
They've got a library service, which I think is a great idea, because that's the one thing that was missing was where you've got stuff like Netflix and Love Film, which do that for TV. There's nothing like that for books.
No.
So does that come under, if you've got Prime, that is part of that service?
Yep. The library service, yeah.
Okay. Because I know about the family thing and things like that as well.
Yeah, so if you've got the Kindle app on your tablet, then you'll be able to download books through that.
On a library basis, which is cool, okay.
That's really cool.
It is,
That's a really good idea.
Because I do actually, I actually got to have Prime on my...
Yeah. So I think it's really worth doing because, you know, you pay a service, I don't know how many books you'd get through, but...
It's not a great deal. It's just an annual fee.
I think it's like 26 quid or something for a year.
Very low, yeah.
That's not bad at all.
No.
If I had a Kindle, I'd go for it.
You don't need a Kindle.
No, you just have you can have the Kindle app.
Oh, so you can run that on my Mac.
I don't know whether it's on Mac or not. I would imagine so.
I believe so, because they've got it for Android. So.
Yeah. I'm just going to do a quick Google of Amazon Prime, is it?
As far as I'm aware, they've got it for 5 or 7 different varieties of Windows.
Yeah, you'll be wanting to Google for Amazon Kindle app Mac, because it's not Amazon Prime app, it's Amazon Kindle app.
Indeed.
Okay, cool. I've got Amazon Prime Mac app, and it's coming up with stuff for me. So Amazon Kindle Mac app.
Yep.
Kindle for Mac. Read Kindle ebooks on your Mac.
Yep.
Boom. Sweet.
Ba-dum.
Might have to do that. 26 quid a year.
It's a great deal.
It's insane. Yeah.
So it's like I'm loving my Marvel Unlimited subscription at the moment. So it's like, again, it's $6.99 a month and I can read everything as much as I like as long as I'm connected to the internet, and I can download up to 6 issues at once on my tablet to read offline.
That's pretty sweet.
And they've got a fucking huge library of comics to read from. So I've gone back to like Uncanny X-Men 1, which is something I'd never be able to do in reality.
No, yeah. I've started watching the X-Men again on Netflix. They've got the cartoon series on Netflix.
Yeah, that's a great series.
Yeah. I forgot that they did Days of Future Past.
Yes, they did.
I remembered Bishop being in there briefly, but I forgot they were doing that storyline. So yeah, I'm rewatching that again ahead of... It's next year, isn't it?
First Class 2, yeah, because it's Wolverine's out soon.
Year. Wolverine's out in July.
Yeah.
They keep releasing pictures of Mystique from X-Men First Class.
Yes.
It's like it's Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes,
so
it's your current crush.
Yeah, well, you got Jennifer Lawrence in that film and Ellen Page.
Oh, I've finally seen Hunger Games.
What do you think?
Yeah, it was great. Really enjoyed it.
Did you let Megan watch it?
Yeah. Yeah. She was a bit teary at bits.
Yes.
With some of the people who died. So
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. She wasn't happy with some of it, but she watched it.
Sweet.
She thought it was good.
Yeah. I was talking to my sister about that as well. She was surprised that I'd liked it.
Mm.
Yeah, no, it was good. It's alright. But yeah, I forgot Jennifer Lawrence and Ellen Page are both in X-Men First Class 2, Days of Future Past, whatever they want to call it nowadays.
The X-Men conglomerate.
Yeah. So that's two of my crushes. That's 2 of my laminated 5 list. But Bryan Singer's got the hang of this social media larking, hasn't he? He keeps tweeting set pics and stuff. It's very, very cool.
Have you seen Joss Whedon's gradually picking it up?
Yeah, well, he's on Twitter.
Yeah, because he was on today and he was like, God, I'm rubbish at marketing. There's stuff for much ado about nothing. Go and have a look at it. I was thinking to myself, dude, you don't need to bother marketing. Hey, everyone, I've made a film. Clamour.
Because I still can't find anywhere that's showing that.
No.
It's only got a limited UK release by the looks of it.
That was like Mirror Mask. I was gutted at that one. A tiny release. I was like, Mirror Mask, cool. It's out on my birthday on the cinema. And there was like 5 cinemas in the whole of the country showing it.
I don't know, because I tweeted the PCC, the Prince Charles Cinema in London, because they do a lot of really cool showings of stuff.
Yeah.
They have beer and pizza showings of like Empire Records.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're having a marathon Lord of the Rings trilogy night, all 3 extended films back to back at the cinema.
Holy crap!
I'd be tempted to see that.
Yeah.
So I thought if anyone's going to show it, that will be the place to go and see Much Ado About Nothing. But they don't seem to be having it. I know the View in Oxford hasn't got it.
Have you checked Phoenix and
Picture House?
I'll give that a shot.
Ultimate Picture Palace?
Yeah, they might. I suppose they get the occasional film, don't they?
Places to have a look at. See whether they're
But I really want to see that.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Admittedly, mostly because it is Joss Whedon, but he can do no wrong.
Indeed, and Alexis Denisov.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion, Amy Adams.
I found out weirdly today that the from the end of Avengers, the other one that's with Thanos.
The other ending.
Well, no, the ending of Avengers,
Yeah.
where there's Thanos and then there's another kind of alien creature there talking to him.
Yes.
That's Alexis Denisov, apparently.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah, because he was talking on. So he was doing an interview and he's saying that he wants to go back and play that character again. I was like, dude, that was you.
Oh, wow.
So yes, that was Alexis Denisov in the Avengers, which I didn't know.
I didn't realise that at all.
Yeah.
Come on, how is Nathan Fillion not been in one of these Marvel films yet?
Indeed.
Yeah, what would you chuck him in as though? Or cast
I'd put him in as Ant-Man. Put him in as Hank Pym, Dr. Hank Pym,
Yeah.
for sure. I think, but we'll see. I think someone made a joke when Joss Whedon joined Twitter. There's like, Joss Whedon's now on Twitter. Which one of these 140 characters is he going to kill first? He was on Twitter kind of before, because he was tweeting as at Much Ado About. But now he's Joss Actual, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a Game of Thrones one. Somebody tweeted today was George R.R. Martin isn't on Twitter because he's killed all 140 characters.
I saw one yesterday about the spoiler issue, and someone was like, Game of Thrones, the one where Eduardo gets laid. I love the happy episodes. How long has that been?
But yeah, another one that it completely caught me by surprise is people being in films when you didn't realise is Keira Knightley is in episode 1.
Yeah, she was Amidala's body double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the actual Queen Amidala one that wasn't the Handmaiden.
Yeah.
So the Queen's double, that was Keira Knightley before she did all Bend It Like Beckham and everything.
Yes, because the Padme looks over that. Yes, because.
So that's not a spoiler, is it?
No one's going to watch that film again.
Yeah, the first point he actually recognises when they're on the ship when they're without all the makeup and stuff. Yes.
Yeah. But yes, I completely didn't know because I think I was reading something and then there was a kind of picture slide at the bottom of people in Star Wars and then and now, and I was like, Keira Knightley? What did you show a picture of her for? Like, oh, all right.
She was in the film that doesn't exist.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. The missing film.
Something to do with World's End or something.
Don't know.
Now, World's End, I'm looking forward to immensely.
Yeah, the final part of the Blood and Connector trilogy.
Yeah.
Blood and Ice Cream trilogy.
Yeah. Very much looking forward to that.
Again, it's just what Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. So as much as Joss Whedon can do no wrong, those guys can do no wrong.
Indeed, yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, there was another thing that saying that Edgar Wright probably won't be involved in any of the new Star Wars films, just purely because of how he handled it in Spaced. But it's weird, there's people going out all over the place saying that they want parts in it. Apparently Leonard Nimoy said he wants a part in Star Wars 7.
Really? Oh, what?
What?
The Rock has said he wants a part in Star Wars 7.
As a rock. Literally a rock. That gets blown up.
Well, we can only hope. Yeah, he said...
He'll be the new CGI animated hatred character.
God, I don't know. The thing is, if films like Fast and Furious 6 keep performing the way they do, he's going to come to people's attention. So it's just annoying. Because it's Fast and Furious 5 became known as Fast 5. Fast and Furious 6 has become known as Furious 6, apparently. That's how it's been shortened in most reviews, at least. But
I
even
think
the
I
movie
speak
Bob.
for everybody on the internet when I say.
Yeah, because they can't say FF anymore because they've got the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah. But the movie Bob actually kind of liked it, and he's like one of the people I do trust his opinion of. But he said
I'll disown you, sir.
I'm not going to see it. Don't worry. There's no chance. I think I worked at the cinema when one of those films came out, one of the first few, and cleaning up after a bunch of yampy little shits. The sort of people who go and watch that sort of film.
That's
it was
why
just
I prefer
annoying
to
as balls.
sit and watch that kind of thing on my own, without
When no one can judge you. Yeah.
Box of tissues.
No, box of popcorn.
Popcorn. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, that's still outperforming new releases.
Yeah, apparently
it's just pissed all over After Earth.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Apparently, After Earth have tanked
Yeah.
the new
M. Night
Will
Shyamalan
Smith,
film.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Ding Dong.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's bombed.
Well, yeah, I've got to admit, I watched the trailer for it and thought it looked knackers.
Yeah. Quite. I saw the trailers and went, that'll be one I won't be seeing.
Yeah, pretty much. Same with the Tom Cruise one. Was that Oblivion?
Yes.
Yeah. I had no interest in seeing that.
That After Earth looked like.
Isn't that already on DVD?
Pursuit of Happiness in Space.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good memes about that already.
Is there?
Yeah.
Space.
Everything here is designed to kill you. This is Australia.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But no, those are two of my avoid list, I think, for this year.
So nothing of recent that's coming up to watch.
Well, I don't know, because we're on.
I know we're
on hiatus on most things at the moment because we're on the swap over from season finales to summer shows starting.
Yeah,
up.
I think True Blood new season starts soon.
Is coming soon.
Yeah.
I think that starts
In
on the
2 weeks'
6th, is it?
Because there's a couple that have already started. The Glades has already started. A couple of others, but not many. Burn Notice should be back, which I'm looking forward to. Burn Notice.
I don't really get into many TV shows over this time of year. This is the time where I go back and I catch up on what I've missed, which is why I've just like devoured Arrow, just like mainlined that.
There's normally a couple of decent shows, as I say. A couple of them had been cancelled. Like Sanctuary, I think, was a summer show, and Eureka used to be a summer show.
Was a summer show, yeah.
So they're gone. But yeah, I've got Burn Notice, which I do like Burn Notice, and there was Leverage, which was a summer show, which is now also gone this year. So yeah, most of our summer shows have bit the dust, unfortunately. Not a lot out there. So yeah, it'll be True Blood, Burn Notice, The Glades, and that's about it.
Yeah,
I've not heard of any.
Well, Continuum's still going as well.
Yes, but that's it.
Yeah.
I think by the end of June we should probably have the finalised lineup for full TV as well.
Yeah.
Including days and times as well from each network.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting because they've got to make room for quite a few new shows.
Yes, indeed. I've got to say it, Shield. It's got to be mentioned every episode now, I think, until it comes on.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer yet?
No, still haven't watched it yet. No. I'm trying to avoid.
Okay. You don't want to be disappointed or eluded into a false sense of security.
I'm just really worried that I'll see something in there that will make me twig on how Coulson's back.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Even if they try to keep it separate, I'll just worried. Because that'd be the one thing.
Maybe they're all Coulson.
That would be the one spoiler that would tip me over the edge.
Including the women.
They'd have my name associated with the word spree after that one. Should we take a quick break for music there?
Music and coffee, yeah.
Sounds good.
Today's music is provided by a folk rock band from Reading called Burnt Tomorrow. They got in touch with the show after being nudged in our direction by Ripley. So
Ripley.
Cheers, dude.
Yeah. Awesome.
The track is called Take Me Home. It has a kind of Levelers, Pearl Jammy vibe
Levelers,
to it.
Pearl Jammy vibe with added ukulele.
Yeah. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah.
Well, we shall see you on the Back to part 2 of the show. That was the fabulous Burnt Tomorrow. We will stick all links to their Facebook page in the blog description. Go out, their album is available on iTunes now as well, so we'll put a link to that in the show notes as well. Go show them some love.
Indeed.
And if you're in a band or you know a band and you want to get your music played on the show, get in touch.
Give us a shout.
We'll give you a play, we'll give you a plug.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, big news of the week.
The big news of the week. The news that had me sobbing quietly in the corner on Saturday night. The news that Matt Smith is leaving Doctor Who after the Christmas episode.
Indeed. Wow. What do we reckon? Did we see it coming, or did it come out of nowhere?
I kind of saw it coming.
I thought he might do one more season after.
I was hoping one more season.
I thought we'd get another season.
Yeah.
I'm a bit disappointed in that way, but you know.
I mean,
Matt Smith, we are disappointed in you.
We are very disappointed in you, young man.
I'm gutted that we're only going to see him 2 more times.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of gutting.
He hasn't given you enough time to...
Yeah, there's not enough of a period to sort of like...
Grieve.
Get used to the idea that he's leaving.
Yeah, with David Tennant, we knew he was going to leave, and he had all the specials and everything to do. And
and then he had the longest goodbye ever.
Oh, the 20-minute regeneration scene. Yeah, indeed. That was a bit...
That was a bit, that's probably why I connect more with Matt Smith and David Tennant, to be honest.
Well, we'll wait until...
That was the thing, because when David Tennant was leaving, I was like, he's the Doctor, he's going to regenerate. But Matt Smith's like, don't want you to leave. He's probably the closest to the modern Doctors that I'd actually say he was my Doctor. Because obviously, I think it's well known I'm a Sylvester McCoy fan.
Yeah.
But of the modern 3, the new era Who, he's the one that I've connected with the most, I think.
Yeah. I think he's certainly been the most memorable in the role. I mean, David Tennant was great and he was really quirky and fast, but I think Matt Smith has just brought an extra kind of level of intensity to it as well, because his acting, as we've said before, that some episodes, even where the storyline has been a bit ropey in places, it's been carried solely on his performance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he will be sorely missed. It's going to be a shame to see him go. It just feels so quick.
Yeah.
It feels like we've only just gotten to know him.
Well, I think after the euphoria of the series finale and the big John Hurt twist, I think we can probably say that safely now. It's been long enough. That's not a spoiler anymore.
I hope not, because we had a big discussion about it on the previous show.
I think after the rise and the build that left people with, then having this like 3 or 4 weeks later, it's kind of just a bit crushing, I guess. It certainly was for me.
Yeah, it was a shock, and I didn't feel that he was done. I think he had a lot more to give. I think it would have been really good to see, but as I say, if he wants to go, then that's that.
I think what's going for me is I think he's finally found his Rose. In Clara, I think Clara is definitely his Rose. Yeah. And we're not going to see that relationship develop any further.
It should with that character.
Yeah. And that's kind of gutting, because they've had tremendous chemistry this season. It's been brilliant to watch. But we do at least get to see a companion react to a new Doctor, which we didn't have with Matt Smith.
We haven't.
Because
really
Amy Pond joined the show with him.
Yeah, indeed.
True.
And we kind of had it with Rose, because Rose dealt with the regeneration from Eccleston
to Tennant, yeah. But there was nobody around to see the regeneration from Tennant to Smith.
No. So
we haven't had that reaction to do. I'm interested to see how Jen Louise Coleman plays that as Clara. Undoubtedly, given her record in the show.
Knows who it's going to be.
It depends what aspect of Clara it is.
Okay, yeah.
It does, because she's already seen.
Theoretically speaking, she's seen all 11 of them. So yeah.
Yes.
So it might just be something that she takes in her stride.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And then we just have to wait and see.
That's where I would have thought that it would have been written.
You know, all that splitting into shards and taking things in her stride now makes perfect sense for her reaction to the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
It does.
Her reaction was completely in her stride. Oh, it's smaller on the outside.
Yeah.
Rather than it's bigger on the inside. But yeah, so we get this, and there's people were understandably upset. What I didn't get was people being dicks about being upset, going, "Oh, it's Doctor Who. It always happens." It's like people get connected to particular doctors. That's why people have their doctors. Yeah. You know,
it's a unique show with a unique history that no other show has. I mean, the closest thing to it is Bond.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Everybody has their own Bond, and they have their favourite villain.
Indeed, they have their favourite Bond or whatever, and it's been running
a long time,
a comparable amount of time.
For sure.
That's really good comparison. I like that.
So yeah, I think that's kind of where it's down. The argument could be made. Bond is a Time Lord.
No. However, there has been.
He does like his gadgets.
To Daniel Craig being the next Doctor.
Has there?
No.
I would rage quit.
Sean Connery wants it.
I had a list of actors who I would like to see in the role of the Doctor.
Go on then.
That was my little.
That was your little. Yeah. Okay. Well, Idris Elba.
Mm-hmm.
Patterson Joseph. I think we both want him.
We both said Patterson Joseph before. Yeah. I think he would be brilliant.
Yeah.
If it's anything like his turn as the Marquis de Carabas, it will be awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah. Chiwetel Ejiofor, who was the operative from Serenity.
Yeah. Yes.
And I hope I pronounced that right, but he would be brilliant.
Yes, I think he would be pretty awesome.
He would be great.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany was another pick.
Yeah, I think Paul Bettany would be an interesting one if he kind of went to the era of Knight's Tale.
Yes. Yeah.
Very much like Chaucer in Knight's Tale. I think would be an excellent take on the Doctor.
Would.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, I think, would be great. I mean, having seen him as Scarecrow, he can do manic quite well, but I don't know whether he can do the manic without being creepy. Because I've seen him in a lot of stuff, and he does have that kind of manic intensity about him, but I think it might just be a little bit too creepy. Like he was in Red Eye, he was a bit creepy in that
Red
as well.
Eye. Well, Red Eye was just a terrible film anyway.
But again, in Sunshine, I found him creepy as well. There's just something about his eyes.
It's true, yeah. He has got a creepy edge to him.
There's some other recommendations as well, some ideas posted on the Facebook page. I'm just trying to pull them up now.
What, on the Doctor Who Facebook page?
No, on the link we put up.
Ah.
Yeah, Helen Mirren.
Yes.
Yeah.
Richard Madden.
Yes, Richard Madden. Yeah.
He's,
Yeah, from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. This is the one someone put up. Philip Glenister.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know.
If I didn't think the BBC were intent on going with someone young or younger, I would say not a bad call. There's certainly merit to it, but I couldn't see it being a long run Doctor.
No.
Like single season.
Yeah, single season. You'd have the appeal of Christopher Eccleston, I think. But the thing as well that you've got to think about when casting this role, the Doctor, is that they have to do the convention circuits. They have to be someone that can be sold at the convention circuits, especially San Diego.
Yeah.
SCCC is huge. So I'm going to be watching the Doctor Who panel this year, if I can find a link for it, closely.
Well, I think I was reading something today that they're going to announce it in July, because they just don't reckon they can keep it quiet.
Fair enough. They might even take the guy to San Diego then and introduce him as the new Doctor. Well, it makes sense.
Yeah, so we shall see. I don't know. I had some interesting ideas. I think Rupert Grint would be awesome.
I don't know. I saw the Geek Pride list and I wasn't sure whether they were trolling or not.
I don't know.
Well, they had Daniel Dyer.
Danny Dyer?
Danny Dyer was on the list.
No.
Carl Pilkington.
No, they're trolling.
Yeah. Noel Fielding was on the list.
Did they have Justin Bieber on there as well?
No,
they're definitely trolling.
Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie were on the list as well.
No, I actually think Rupert Grint would be quite good. And
he was on their list, that's why I bring it up.
He would be the punchline to the "at least I'm not ginger" gag that's been going on for ages.
Well, who's the guy from Homeland? Because he's also in the running for
Damien Hirst.
Yeah, I thought that one as well.
Yeah, but he's doing Homeland.
So yeah, he's tied in with that.
I did think he would be quite a good one because I've seen some of his earlier stuff. and the way he can switch from completely normal to absolutely fucking psychotic with 2 different accents.
Well, I've actually got the name of the guy who's meant to be the bookie's favourite.
Okay.
The odds-on favourite to win it is Ben Daniels from Law and Order UK.
Never seen it.
Never seen it. I've never heard of him.
No.
But he doesn't look like a doctor.
UK has the guy who was in Battlestar Galactica, played Apollo. Battlestar Galactica. He's in Law and Order UK.
I know. Not him. I've just seen a picture of him. It's definitely not him.
No.
Patterson Joseph, who was tipped to replace David Tennant as the Doctor in 2010, has odds of 16-1. While apparently David Tennant is priced at 33-1 for a dramatic return to the role. That's never going to happen. Apparently they're considering Olivia Colman as the first female star.
Olivia Colman?
Yeah, from Broadchurch.
Ah, right, okay. Ah, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. I don't... Well, I don't know whether they're going to do it or not, but I actually do disagree with doing a female doctor. And it's got nothing to do with sexism or anything like that. It's just purely the fact that it's been established that they have sex in the Time Lord race. So there are males and female Time Lords. We've had Romana and the Rani and people like that. So I think it's just the Doctor is not a female Time Lord.
Right.
And I think doing it, there's nothing to be gained by it.
They could bring in another Time Lord who is female.
Absolutely.
By all means, yeah. But not the Doctor.
Indeed. I don't see the point in rewriting the role to encompass that.
For sexism reasons.
For just basically for the sake of equality. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of some of them. I think the campaign to get Sue Perkins as the Doctor, I thought would be great. I think she would make a great Doctor. I just don't think it's right for the show.
Fair enough.
I just want to make sure they're not an American. That's all I care about.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Isn't it about time that we imported American actors to be leading British shows, playing British people?
No, it's time we get Americans to be villains in British shows.
Yes, thank you. That's where I was going
because
with that. Yeah.
Brits are always the villains.
Oh, we got
in
Peter
American
Dinklage.
shows.
Yeah.
I think there's reasons for why the British are portrayed as villains in American shows.
Yeah, it's fucking sinister.
Well,
no, it's not that.
We were talking about
it's
this
history.
with Robert Rankin when we were talking to him. I think it's in the podcast. Basically, saying the Americans didn't want to kind of be racist against Arabs or whatever, and they didn't want to offend other religions or other races. So they basically went, the Brits can handle it. They can be the bad guys.
I think it's also a lot to do with the colonials as well.
Oh yeah. Well, we're an enemy they can hate. It's like us and the French. I know, because I think it's difficult at the moment because pretty much every British actor of note has been hoovered up either to star as the lead in an American show or be in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's got everyone. Hardly anyone left at all.
Yeah. Is there anybody else you'd particularly like to see in the role?
Well, I like the idea of Rupert Grint. I think he's a good choice because he's young enough, he's instantly recognisable from Harry Potter, he fulfills the ginger gag criteria, which I think would be brilliant.
Are there odds on him?
There should be.
Well, Sky Bet apparently has odds of 100-1 of Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe.
But yeah, no, he can.
No, he's too busy doing theatre and stuff at the moment.
Yeah, he can jog on.
I was going to say, to stick with the ginger metaphor about Tim Minchin. I think Tim Minchin would make an interesting choice as the Doctor.
Not a Brit.
Running around
He's
barefoot playing piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't work.
I think Russell Tovey's also in the list.
Yeah, Russell Tovey would possibly be an interesting one.
Jax.
Who?
Jax Teller, Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam.
Oh God, no, no. He'd be an awful
Not that I would
Doctor.
like it, but I'm surprised that hasn't been mentioned. Because everybody goes, oh.
He'd be a terrible Doctor.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work.
It'd be like having a young Jimmy Nail as the Doctor. It would just be terrible.
Oh, that would be really weird. Yeah.
I don't know, I think maybe there's not any stand-up comedians that would be good. Russell Howard.
No, yeah. This is
Russell
really...
Brand is at 33-1 apparently.
Oh God,
Really?
No. Sorry, no.
Yeah, if the Daily Mail were complaining about Doctor Who being sexed up now, imagine
Yeah,
what they'd be
right.
saying after Russell Brand gets the role of the Doctor.
Oh God, no.
If people are rage quitting Game of Thrones for a nonsense thing, imagine what they do to Doctor Who after that. But yeah, those are my picks anyway. The thing is, I do actually trust them with casting. Whoever they cast, I'm sure will be good in the role because they have been so far.
Yeah. I've not had a problem with any of the castings of the Doctors so far. At the moment, it's just the possibilities are limitless.
Yeah.
And you could imagine anybody coming in and doing it, and it used to be a bit weird. I don't know. Have something a bit fucking bizarre, having been an unstable regeneration and change every week.
Oh, no. I think someone joked on Twitter they're going to have the "Have I got news for you" approach to it.
Yeah.
But they could always do a double bluff. They could have it regenerate to one person and then have him change into somebody else because the Doctor can control his regenerations.
There is precedent.
Because Romana did it.
Because Romana did, yes.
Romana changed and controlled her
3 times in the one episode before finally deciding on the role, and that role that she picked there was a princess from a previous episode as well. So she'd been in as a minor character in a previous episode and then came back as a companion. So I think there's a lot of precedent there for taking the form of somebody the Doctor or a Time Lord has met before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Do you think Jenna Louise Coleman's going to stick around?
Well, she's already signed on.
I know she's signed on for the next season, but beyond that, what do you think?
Too much for a season.
I don't know. It's all going to very much depend on how they're handling this John Hurt thing as well.
Well, apparently he's booked to appear in a couple of episodes next year.
Yeah.
So
he's going to be ongoing, which I kind of figured he would be.
Yeah.
There is the potential for jumping into the past and doing Time War episodes with Clara as the companion of that Doctor.
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's just the one thing that they've said is that Doctor Who will never be the same again, and I'm trying to think out the box a bit.
Yeah, well, he says that a lot though. To be fair, Moffat says that a lot about Doctor Who. I would love a return to the old style of the series, where you have like maybe 5 stories in a season, but they're 3 or 4 part episodes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just tell more stories. That's the only thing that really sucks about the modern era.
Less stories, but longer.
Yeah. We'll get more story in.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that sucks about modern era Who is that
it's just the 45-minute episode,
and it has really bad Next Generation syndrome.
Yeah.
Where everything is really great for like the first half an hour, 35 minutes, and then it's rushed, tied up, or it's flanged.
It's rushed to finish it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no. I think it was Terry Pratchett was saying that even though it is science fiction, there has to be a narrative for the viewer to watch and follow, so they can get there in the end themselves. Because part of the fun of Doctor Who is trying to work out what he's doing and being right, and then just having him just do something off the cuff because he's the Doctor and he can. Yeah. Kind of ruins that. So that would be the one thing I'd want them to fix in the new season. Because they're sticking with the same writing team and the same. Moffat staying as showrunner.
So 2 to 3 episodes to cover one story.
Yeah. But I'd like to see 2-parters back as well. Proper 2-parters back.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I don't think there have been any this season, have there?
No.
No, none. Which is made for kind of a nice break for one season, I suppose. Because they were starting to wear a bit thin. We were getting a lot of them. Yeah. But again, they had Star Trek syndrome too. But the first half was really good. The cliffhanger was amazing. The second half was kind of pants.
Payoff was a bit disappointing.
Because like the Silence in the Library was a brilliant episode. The second part of that was a bit weak.
And the
Crash of the Byzantium as well.
Byzantium, I was going to say that.
Yeah, who knows?
Indeed.
But yeah, those are my picks. Ady, you got any idea who you want to see in the role?
No, I think Damien Hirst would be quite cool, but...
Is it Damien Hirst?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't... It's not going to happen. I think it'd be quite cool in the role. I liked his acting style and ability, but it isn't going to happen. So I'm voting for it being somebody that's not on anybody's list.
I don't think it's Damien Hirst.
It is. Damien with an E, Hirst with an I. Or is it Damien Lewis?
Lewis. Is it Lewis?
Is it Lewis? Because Damien Hirst is the artist.
Yeah.
It is, yes, and that's with it.
It's Damien Lewis.
Lewis. Bugger. We'll have to go back and...
No, we won't. We'll just say every instant you've heard of Ady saying Damien Hirst, actually Damien Lewis. I'm sure they probably knew what they meant, because Damien Hirst wasn't in Homeland.
No.
I was hanging around in the background with half a cow.
Yeah. Actually, why do we think outside the box?
Special effects. Yeah.
People who aren't TV people.
People who aren't actors.
Yeah. Well, Emma Newman, obviously.
Yeah.
Emma Newman with China Melville as her assistant. Although I'm sure if that were to come to pass,
you wouldn't get past the locked door of the TARDIS.
Yeah, China Melville would be sequestered in her wine cellar. And by wine cellar, I mean dungeon, and by sequestered, I mean handcuffed.
No, we can't be too mean about Emma Newman because she's coming on the show.
That's not being mean. That's not being mean at all. I think she was open about her dungeon for China Melville on just a minute. Hopefully she'll be on the show. That would be awesome. We'd love to have her on the show. Because her podcast is brilliant.
It is. Tea and Jeopardy is a brilliant, brilliant podcast.
Our podcast is somewhat less refined than that.
A hell of a lot less refined. They have sound effects and everything.
Yeah. It makes me think of radio plays.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Makes me think of listening to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And my dad's old Goon Show records and stuff. It's awesome.
If you haven't listened to it, the last one was on Endor.
Cool. Then, yeah, we can always throw sound effects in.
Yeah. She's had Endor, a lighthouse, a giant mech robot.
Mech warrior thing, yeah.
And a volcano.
And a volcano.
Volcano was the first one with Chuck Wendig,
Cool.
wasn't it? Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, non-actors to play the role of the Doctor.
I don't know. I'm drawing a complete blank.
Yeah, I am. Well, there we go, listeners.
Who do you
Email
think?
it in. Who do you think?
Indeed.
Yeah.
We're stumped now.
Also, who do you think should play the Doctor? What are your standpoints on it? Should it be a woman?
Yeah, indeed. Well, I couldn't believe it that people are writing these articles saying about how sexist and racist Doctor Who is. I don't think it is at all.
No, I don't.
But it's just the American thing that's the thing for me. It just cannot be an American. It can be anybody at all, but it's non-American.
Apart from French.
Oh yeah, definitely not French. That goes without saying.
Chinese.
Got to be a Brit, I think. Just because it's like one of the last sort of
British
things we have. It's
Professor Elemental in to do it.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
not an actor.
Yeah.
There we go.
No, he's
Professor Elemental to be the Doctor.
That'd be fun.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Bit of a demotion though, isn't it?
Professor
Doctor. Yeah. Or would it be Doctor Professor or Professor?
No,
Doctor?
Professor's got tenure, hasn't it? So.
Yes.
Steampunk Doctor Who. Yeah.
I know some people who would flip out about that.
Yeah,
to be fair,
indeed.
there's too much steampunk going on, and it's like with everything. I think as it becomes more and more popular
And
mainstream, people's idea of what steampunk is
God,
becoming more and more diluted.
Or fixated.
We had a big discussion about this at the weekend at D&D. Oh, Darvel's Frog! I forgot about Darvel's Frog.
You did, yes. So what is Darvel's
Frog? Okay. Well, are we done with the Doctor Who chat?
I would say so.
I think we're done with Doctor Who
we'd
chat.
just be just pulling names out of the hat
Yeah.
otherwise.
Fuck of it, yeah.
Cool.
So Darvel's Frog is essentially this. We had a big campaign and at GM set it up. So there's a Death Knight riding a Wyvern, 300 hit points, and it was started to sort of really give us a good twatting. And Loss, who's playing this transmuter, just turned into a frog. It failed his fortitude check. So this 300 hit point Death Knight on Wyvern became a frog. And it ended up being put on one of her mates, Dean's playing this mad-ass drunk dwarf called Darvel, just sticks it under his helmet, puts his helmet on, so the frog's underneath his magical helm. Later in the dungeon, we're in this room, and Dean and another character are about to die, so the mage again casts temporal stasis on them to remove them from time and to stop any effects happening and affecting them. And the question became, what happens to the frog under the helmet? Because he's not actually part of Darvel, so he's not affected by the temporal stasis.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And we decided that, much like Schrodinger's cat, that frog was both alive and dead.
Yes.
until we could remove the helmet and see. It existed in a state of both.
Yes.
Both instances.
Quantum waveform probability frog.
Yes.
Because the room we were in was draining a hit point per round, and we had to sort of like leave them for
there's your decaying isotope.
Yeah. So essentially, the one hit point a round was being lost in this room, which was that's the decaying isotope, and we had to go and rest up for 8 hours so that our priest could then cast the spells needed to, once these guys are removed from temporal stasis, heal them and cure them of mummy rot. So we knew that more than 300 rounds would have gone, so the Death Knight would definitely have died, or the frog that would definitely have died.
If the frog had 300 hit points as a frog.
Yeah. So, that was the thing. And people were actually asking, seriously, well, what's going to happen to the frog? So I just broke it down as Schrodinger's cat, and it became Darvel's frog. So a D&D thought experiment, it was Darvel's frog. So it's kind of...
Awesome.
It took geeky to just a whole new level. Cool, But I completely missed the decaying isotope part of that, but that was definitely the hit points lost. As it was, once they were removed from temporal stasis and remove curse had been cast to lift mummy rot enough for them to be healed.
The frog had disappeared.
Well, the helmet was stuck to Darvel's head, so I had to make a strength check to pull it off, and when I did, the frog had returned to its natural form upon death, and was just the ashes flowing from the helmet of a dead Death Knight.
Okay, so not a giant Death Knight under his hat.
Yeah, no. So that kind of threw us all on the curveball. But up until that moment, it was
it was quantum waveform probability frog.
Yeah, that's what we called it for sure, I think. So then that's one I thought it'd be really cool if I could chuck up some microphones and just record the D&D session, and then release it as like a radio play. Mm-hmm. But the amount of bullshit we chat, we sort of like we don't actually game for that much of a session.
It's the asides that tend to make games.
So that's what I thought about, maybe writing out a couple of radio play type things, little 20-minute shorts, but in the style of a D&D adventure, but switching between in character and then getting very meta and looking at character as well.
What I would suggest is if you record a session and then base your scripts off that.
Yeah.
Because then you'll get the meta jokes as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool.
So I would say record the session and then, because I've done it before where I've recorded sessions and turned them into stories. So I've had the ongoing plot line there, and I've got some dialogue from what people have actually said.
Well, I used to write in-character diaries for stuff that was going on. This is when I started gaming, when I took it a lot more seriously than I do now. Now it's just like, drive back to Worcester to see my friends I don't see all week, have a pizza, eat a bag of cookies, and maybe get an hour and a half a game into the 4 hours that were there.
Well, maybe the three of us with maybe one or two others could go around to somewhere, have a few beers, and actually record
I'm fairly sure we could. I've got a couple of characters already. I've got, old characters in mind that I'd bring into it. But I think it would just be fun.
Yeah,
I'd be well up for doing that.
Yeah, but just actually sit around and actually have a few beers as well, because some of the stuff that comes out is going to be quite...
Yeah.
Especially some of the in-game stuff too.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's probably the next big project from NerdVsWorld is some sort of...
Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a few on the
we've got to go.
back burner, haven't we?
And when we'll find the time to finish half of them, I don't know.
Indeed.
Still need to play with the makey.
We do. Yeah, we were talking about that. We had Ady had a bit of play with that round at ours at the weekend. Hooked it up to the tablet.
I'm still waiting.
Yes, it doesn't quite work very well.
I'm still waiting for the Leap Motion to get released. They keep pushing that back. I'm getting more and more concerned because I was on the pre-order last May, and it was meant to ship at Christmas. Then it was January. Then it was March. Then May. Then now back to July. But they still haven't opened beta testing yet. So I'm dubious. I think it'll be year end before I see it. It won't be canned. They've got 12,000 units out with devs at the moment building apps for it. So it's a genuine thing and it's out there. But there's been a bit of a price hike as well since the pre-order, which is pretty annoying. But we'll see.
As we talk about this kind of thing on pretty much every show, I think we should have a Kickstarter of the week.
Yeah.
And my Kickstarter of the week for this one is one that I just backed yesterday, which is the 7th edition rulebook for Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, awesome.
Is a Kickstarter, so go and check that out.
Okay.
That's run by Chaosium. They're doing a whole new version. They've got some pretty sweet offers on there.
I much preferred the Chaosium approach to Cthulhu. I got the D20 stuff.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
No.
I prefer the original because sanity was just so much more important in the original than the
go on to Kickstarter and check out Call of Cthulhu.
This is what edition is
7th edition.
7th edition.
Because I've got the 5th edition. I bought that like years ago as a PDF. But yeah, they're doing a whole new 7th edition.
I have a load of H.P. Lovecraft audio plays actually.
Cool.
I think I must be one of the only people that I know of that I've spoken to who's actually managed to end up with minus 21 side points.
It's so easy to lose sanity in Cthulhu.
Yeah. Well, I did basically I turned the universe inside out.
Conversely, I've had some awesome ones where I stood toe to toe with Great Cthulhu and lost 1 sanity point on a D100 roll.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Cthulhu.
It's D100 if you fail your sanity check.
Yeah.
It's D10 if you pass it.
Yeah.
And your noodly appendages.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I failed and
failed and
got a 0-1.
Nice. Have you played Elder Sign?
Yes. Yeah.
That game is impossible. I've yet to win a game of Elder Sign. That's what tends to happen at D&D is we'll sort of turn up and we'll be waiting for people to get there. So we'll end up board gaming for a bit. I recently started playing X-Wing miniatures. When I say started playing, I had 1 lesson and got well beaten playing the Empire. It's very cool. It's a miniatures game and there's some good tactics to be involved in it. But I think I need to spend more time reading the rules and reading what abilities did. Because you have to think about how you build your squadrons. But there you go.
Yeah, so I think we should do Kickstarter of the week as an ongoing feature. Because we do talk about it a lot, and there's always some good ones out there.
Could also stick it in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put a link to the Kickstarter in there. Yeah, well, because there was another one that I think Emma backed last week, which it's run out by now. I think it runs out today or yesterday, and that was for Girl Genius, volume 13 of Girl Genius, trying to get that published.
I'd be really up for the Cthulhu one though.
But yeah, have a look. I mean, so some of them are expensive. I think the $30 one gets you the PDFs of both the Keeper's and the Player's Handbook. And then I think it's like $50 and up gets you the soft cover, and then it's like $100 for the hard covers. So it's expensive.
I think we need to have an RPG special soon.
I think we do, yeah. We don't talk about role-playing enough.
No. We sort of...
I don't think we talk about comics enough either. I think we should talk about comics more.
We don't really talk about gadgets or apps much either, to be fair.
Yeah.
We've had making, that's about it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, if there's anything in particular you'd like us to talk about in the show that you don't think we talk about
stop talking about.
Bear in mind, you might not listen. But, make suggestions anyway.
Absolutely. Best we'll do is ignore you. No, we won't. We love you. Lovely, lovely listeners.
I think that's about all we got for this show.
I think that's pretty much it for this week. Yeah. I don't think I've got anything else.
Just quick throw in. Didn't mention is some news I've heard today is Fleetwood Mac bringing out a 4-track EP.
Yeah.
So one of the tracks I actually got to hear, it's definitely Fleetwood Mac, but a few modern twists in it.
Well, because
lineup.
You heard all the Eden House stuff, which is the lead singer of Fleetwood Mac, because they've got one full-length album and one EP, Smoke and Mirrors EP, and that's got like really cool cover versions of Play Dead and stuff.
Is very good.
Which is brilliant because I don't know if you've heard Eden House. They're
I'm just gonna remove. Someone's posted a picture on my wall, and it's a fucking Game of Thrones spoiler. Delete photo. This is why I always have tag options. That's my boss as well.
Yeah, so have you heard of Eden House?
I haven't.
They're a kind of goth supergroup. It's the bass player from Fields of the Nephilim, lead singer from Fleetwood Mac. They're brilliant. And
was it something to do with Depeche Mode as well?
I think there might be something to do with Depeche Mode. I can't remember.
I can't remember the full lineup, but it's
they're a goth
it's 3 or 4
supergroup, and they do like cover versions and new stuff as well. Their cover version of Play Dead is stunningly good.
Oh, sweet. I'll check them out.
So yeah, do check them out.
I always end up getting new stuff to check out at the end of the show. Every time we record, I have more stuff to go and watch and listen to.
There you go. Have a listen to both of those if you can.
Indeed.
Sweet. And that's it.
That is it.
That is it. Okay.
We are done.
Thank you for listening. I've been Brendan.
I've been Spindles.
And I've been special. I'm Ady.
Always special, Ady. Until next time, take care and be excellent to each other.